Hey everybody, so I just wanted to jump on here quick and leave my review for Something from Tiffany's. Now this is the latest rom-com during the holidays from Amazon Prime, and it stars Zoe Deutch and Kendrick Sampson. And this is produced by Reese Witherspoon, who is no stranger to the rom-com genre. As we know, she, in my opinion, is one of the original rom-com queens. Movies such as Just Like Heaven, Sweet Home Alabama, and plenty more. She is a rom-com darling. So when I saw that her name was attached as a producer to this movie, I thought, okay, this would be something worth checking out. And I am a lover of rom-coms. I do think romantic comedies are the best medicine when you've had a really stressful day, when you just need to kind of decompress or take your mind off something really strenuous. A romantic comedy is the perfect way to go. Whether you think it's all about fantasy or not, I think people falling in love at the end is exactly what we need to feel better. Just gonna say it. Now, that being said, the holidays are the best time of year to watch the really cheesiest and corniest of romantic movies. We just got Falling for Christmas on Netflix with Lindsay Lohan, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I still admired for the fact that it was cheesy and it fell right in the category of where it was supposed to be. Now that we have Something from Tiffany's, this movie was kind of being marketed as the rom-com to save rom-coms over the last 10 years. As you know, we get a lot of the movies that are very derivative, pretty much all the same and offer nothing new. So I was curious to see what this movie was going to offer with that kind of hype in mind. And the fact that Zoe Deutch is helming this movie, because I do think she's very charming and I do think she is very likable and can hold a movie very well. Now, having seen the movie, I do have a lot of thoughts, so we're going to get into those right now. I didn't think this movie was anything that special. I didn't think the movie offered anything different in terms of romantic comedies. When you have a movie that is set at Christmas time in New York and two people falling in love, you already know exactly what you're getting yourself into, which I expected. I didn't go into the movie with these high expectations. I went in with an open mind and some curiosity. In terms of its storyline, if you're not familiar, it is about a young woman named Rachel and a young man named Ethan, two different people who only meet because of an accident that happens with one of the couple's significant others. And in the midst of it, the title being Something from Tiffany's, both couples have a gift that accidentally gets swapped. And because of this, this mix-up, these couples are forced to introduce and meet one another. Now, the things that happen and unfold as the movie goes on, I just think are unrealistic. Of course, it's a romantic comedy, so it is really much like a fantasy. You're supposed to just, let your imagination run wild with the idea that this could happen. The only thing about it is, with romantic comedies, I do appreciate when there is some realism there, when things actually feel like this could take place. The chemistry between both Zoe Deutch and Kendrick Sampson, I felt was lost. I didn't really feel there was a connection from the get-go. And the fact that we only see like little snippets of them actually hanging out with one another in the midst of this mix-up, I just didn't really feel there was any romantic chemistry there to begin with. So when the movie is kind of leading in that direction that they are like trying to come back and find one another, I didn't really buy it. I wasn't really invested. I didn't really care. And I didn't think that, given the way the storylines were going for each of them separately with their own significant others before they ultimately find themselves together, spoiler alert, not that you couldn't have figured that out on your own, of course they were going to end up together, I just didn't really see how them coming together came to be. I didn't really feel that connection, nor did I care for it. So this is a movie that I'm not exactly going to recommend. It's one of those really just B-list things we've seen over and over, time and time again. And it sucks because, again, you have Reese Witherspoon, who's attached to this as a producer, who knows romantic comedies very well. And this is based on what I believe is a very popular book. I didn't read it. I didn't even know it was a book until the movie came out. I was really just expecting something a little bit more heartwarming and sweet and a little bit wanting to cozy up to the cheesiness of it. But I just didn't get into it. And there are moments and characters that say things that you're thinking, would this actually happen? Are these conversations that just get thrown out just because? I wasn't really buying that. Now, mind you, this might become a favorite for audiences of this generation, but for me, I think there are far better movies out there that take place during the holiday season that are more worth your time, and this is not one of them. So I definitely don't recommend that you check this movie out. Again, Zoe Deutch and Kendrick Sampson are fine for what they're given. They're both notable actors, especially Zoe Deutch. I thought she was very charming, but the characters here and the way their characters are written are just not all that interesting and at times kind of annoying, in my personal opinion. If you have seen Something from Tiffany's, I'd love to know what you thought about this. Did you really feel like this movie was kind of saving rom-coms? I know a lot of them from the last 10 years haven't been really feeling all that great, and I'd be curious to know what you thought of them. But for me, it's a pass.